This is the PR Podcast, a show about how public relations helps you tell your story to the world. We talk with great PR practitioners who have the skills, creativity, and just plain savvy to get their clients noticed. Now here's your host, Jody Fisher.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the PR Podcast. I'm Jody Fisher. Thanks for joining us. Well, don't forget our YouTube channel. Yes, we have a YouTube channel. It's a lot more fun to watch episodes than it is to just listen to them. Now, you can find us on Apple and Spotify, where everybody else gets all of their podcasts. But if you feel like watching an episode and seeing our guests as well as listening to them, check us out on YouTube. Just search for @the PR Podcast. Make sure you put the in there because there's only one the PR Podcast. And you can find us. We've got all of our episodes on there. And you can scroll back through, find your favorite ones, listen to a few, pop back and forth, maybe even share one you like on your LinkedIn page. Who knows? But check us out on YouTube there. The PR Podcast, a channel unto itself, and like and subscribe as well. Now let's get on with our show today. We got a great guest. Matthew Pierce is creator of Ambient New York, a strategic communications professional and multidisciplinary creator. He helps people, brands, and event organizers bring their stories to life on stage, on screen, and in the media. He combines deep experience in media relations, executive positioning, and reputation management with high-impact creative work that includes documentary-style video, personalized songs, and custom live performances. And after a decade of managing multi-million-dollar campaigns on Madison Avenue, he's now blending his business insight with artistic storytelling to create content that connects in fresh, memorable ways. His work has been featured on CNN, Fox, NBC, Adweek, and Barstool Sports, and he's known for helping leaders communicate with clarity and confidence. Today, he serves as a performer, MC, speaker, videographer, and audio producer, and brings a uniquely strategic and creative approach to every story he tells. Matt, welcome to the PR Podcast.
Thank you, Jody. Thanks for having me. Congratulations on 236 episodes. I'm very excited for today.
Oh, we're happy to have you on. I wanted to have you on because you and I met through a mutual friend. But you are so creative and you have such a creative business. And I want you to tell us about Ambient New York.
Sure, absolutely. So Ambient New York is something that I launched 2 years ago when I left my full-time gig. So like you, I come from the ad agency world. So I worked on Madison Avenue for 10 years here in New York City. And 2 years ago, I made the leap. I always did creative work on the side, kind of as a hobby, as a performer, as a videographer. I've done a lot of music videos, and I always wanted to go all in. I always wanted to take the leap into entrepreneurship, and so Ambient New York's my foray into that. It started. I was working, my first gig, oddly enough, was a performer in a New York City show. As you probably thought the first time you saw me, I'm a freestyle rapper. I'm sure that was your first impression. And so I was a performer for 2 years in a New York City show. And it was such a fun job. And the unique thing about that job was that you'd have an hour break between performances and you're out in New York City wandering around. And I said, how can I be productive with this time? So I launched this YouTube channel, Ambient New York. It's all about New York City tourism. So what I would do at that time is film, hey, Times Square, famous stores, the Disney store, Nike, NBA store. And what I've built on this channel is an international audience of people who are very interested in traveling to New York City. They want to understand, is this a place where I'd want to take my family, to this restaurant or to this store? So Ambient New York is kind of the umbrella. And I also service clients in that same business. So videography for folks in real estate who have listings in New York City. I do a lot of gigs in that front, trying to break into hotels because everyone who comes here, they need a place to sleep, they need a place to eat. So trying to partner with hotels and real estate. And that's a little bit about Ambient New York.
What I really like about there are lots of people who do this kind of content, right? Whether it's tourism content or restaurant content or whatever. But what I really like about yours and what I think it stands apart is that it is super authentic. It is not like Hollywood polished, like, blowing smoke up your ass, quite frankly. Right? It's
Mhm.
not, it doesn't have this overwhelming voiceover. It's very authentic. Like, here's what it looks like. Here's the experience you're gonna get. It looks fantastic, don't get me wrong, but it's
Mhm.
not fake, right? It's really authentic New York. Would you agree? Is that what you're going for?
Yes, and thank you for saying that. I really appreciate it. It's what I'm not trying to be, because this wouldn't be authentic. I'm not trying to be an influencer. I'm not trying to be a look at me, the top 5 matcha places in the West Village, the top 6 cute cafes. Like, that's not my vibe, just even if it would get views. So I try to make it it's just classic marketing. It's about the audience. It's not about me. It's about the audience. So I want to give them an authentic walk around New York City. I've started doing new ones where I'm going to different restaurants and I am in those ones and I'm giving voiceover. But again, it's about giving them tips about navigating, being safe in New York City, putting myself in their shoes and giving them the tips of what I've learned living in New York City for over 10 years.
What are some of the things that how long have you been doing ambient again?
2 years.
2 years. Okay, so over that 2 years, there's got to be some learnings, right? Whether it's
Yeah.
technical, how do I shoot this, or how I go about finding content, editing content. Are there things that
Yeah.
you've learned over that 2 years of shooting? Because you got a ton of content on your
Yeah.
channels. What are some of the things that you've learned about shooting in New York, and
Sure.
creating these videos and keeping them as authentic as they are?
Yeah, great question. One thing I've learned, and this is just navigating YouTube. I'm obsessed with YouTube and learning about it, reading books about it, watching YouTube videos about YouTube. Believe it or not, that's a huge niche in itself, which is crazy.
Oh, I wouldn't know
Um,
what you're talking about there, man. No idea.
yeah. So I've learned the importance of really title and thumbnail and just how crucial that is. Like any other product on the planet, YouTube is about the packaging of that product. It needs to deliver on the promise of what is in the thumbnail and the title. So it can't be some clickbait where you don't deliver on that, or people will abandon it and that'll send signals to YouTube that says don't serve this to more people. So the thumbnail needs to do a few things. It should obviously be like beautiful, eye-catching. Believe it or not, symmetry is big. A symmetrical thumbnail just looks better on the human eye. And it should create some kind of intrigue that you do need to open it to understand why. And at the same time, you need to deliver on that reason why they opened it. And the title should just thumbnail's number one in my opinion, and title just supports it. It's supporting of the thumbnail. So where that goes from a marketing standpoint is what niche are you trying to do? So what I've learned is that the more I've gone deep on a certain thing, for me, what's been successful is New York City stores. For whatever reason, that's what a lot of people have grown to enjoy about my channel. And I had to experiment with different things to say this didn't work, this didn't work. And my point is that, a lot of businesses and a lot of content creators, they try to do too many things. One week they're talking about cooking. The next week they're talking about, I don't know, best place to walk your dog, and that just confuses your audience. People say it throws off the algorithm. Just replace the word algorithm with audience. It confuses the audience. They don't know what to expect anymore from your channel, from your commercials, your business. So the biggest things I've learned is just the importance of packaging, title and thumbnail, and the importance of leaning in on a very, like, going deep with a piece of content, and just once you find it, double down on what's working.
Yeah, that's a great piece of advice, to do more of what is paying off, right? Let's talk a little bit about how you construct those videos too. I think a lot of people, and certainly, we probably talk to a lot of clients who think that shooting a video is as easy as pressing record. Now, don't get me wrong, you need to press record at some point. You can
Mhm.
think about it forever. But there's a script involved. There's a plan involved. How do you go about planning a video once you've decided, okay, I want to hit this topic, how do you go about
Mhm.
planning how you're going to shoot it, and then how it's going to look in the end?
Yeah. So you should always have kind of a vision in mind when you're shooting a video. It is not, like you said, it's not winging it, just like popping up a camera and wandering around. It's actually almost I don't know if it's 50-50, but it is a balance of planning and things that happen organically. It's a beautiful combination. So just an example, I recently ventured into what I call the belly of the beast, Times Square. And I went into the McDonald's in Times Square, which I've never been to in my life, but is obviously a very tourist heavy destination. And I had a whole vision for it. It's going to be POV style. I'm going to be mic'd up. I want it. It's going to consistency. It's going to look like my other ambient New York videos. It's filmed 4K, the same settings. All that's the same. I'm gonna go in. I'm not gonna plan on what I'm gonna order. I just react in real time. I got the touch screen and all of that. And then from there, honestly, from the moment I picked the food up, it was like I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna wander upstairs and see what's like. Give the people watching a view. Okay, how many floors is it? Is there ample seating? So they know if they can take their family there. I ultimately decided to just head out and find a place to eat in the middle of Times Square, and so that was all organic. And what I'm noticing, because I'm getting more comments on this video than I have on any of these other like tour videos, and the numbers are so much higher. And I think it's because of just the theme of authenticity. The more you can bring that into your video, the better it's going to perform, especially with AI videos. I don't know about your LinkedIn feed, Jody, or your YouTube feed. It's like I don't even know what it's hard to decipher at some point. It's like what's real. I think I hear things. It's like, okay, this is a fake voiceover, a fake script. I'm not interested in that. And the more that goes this way, the more I think it's going to actually benefit. I know I'm going on a tangent. Benefit creators because you can mess up your talk track, and it doesn't matter. It's all about authenticity. So, um, the blending of planning your video and being open to just organic things. If your video is scripted word by word, I'm telling you, it will come off as scripted word by word. It's no comparison. I've done both, and the latter, this organic one is so much better.
Yeah, for sure. And we all know we've all seen examples of exactly what you're talking about, right? How do you bridge that, from bridge your business into getting picked up or getting featured on places like CNN and Barstool Sports? How does that happen for you?
Yeah, I mean, in 2025, you gotta, I mean, this is, I guess, been the case for the last decade, is that, entrepreneurs are just expected to do everything, expected to wear all the different hats. So from being your own PR person to your own publicist, video editor, songwriter, whatever. So I've just learned the art of, honestly, cold emailing and cold tweeting, if that's a term, cold Xing, whatever you would call it right now. Um, and the way I got on those sites was just, like we said, you make it about them. It's not look at me and my story. It's like this would be great for your site because, and making about that writer. Like you've seen this person's written about, I've done a lot of songs about the Philadelphia Eagles, for example. So I know what Barstool Sports people write about the Eagles. So that's naturally who I'm gonna write to. So it's not being intimidated to ask, and if you don't hear back, to follow up. I mean, you as a PR expert, Jody, know the importance of a follow up. People get discouraged if someone doesn't write back to them right away, and you got to realize that you're just a small part of that person's like busy hectic day. So just you got to learn different skill sets is what I would give any marketer, anyone in the workforce. And yeah, so just wearing a lot of hats.
Speaking of a lot of hats, you do a lot of things in addition to Ambient New York. I mean, you're combining music and video and live performance. Tell us a little bit about all those other things, and how they all combine into kind of like a storytelling aspect of what you do for clients.
Yeah, for sure. So, one thing that I never thought would benefit me in the workplace is my ventures as a freestyle rapper. It sounds insane. It sounds crazy. A friend of mine, John Garrett, coins this philosophy of what's your and what he writes about is that, and what he speaks about is that what will be more beneficial for you in the workplace is the things that you do outside of work. It makes you more relatable. It humanizes the corporate environment. And when someone brings something up like they do golf restoration videos or something, I want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about like the if it's a job interview, those things are interesting. It's very telling of the person's true story. So my point around storytelling is that when I worked on Madison Avenue, I performed on the side, in clubs in New York City as this, freestyle rapper. I've done all these songs, and one time there was this opportunity. It was, I don't know if it was like hey, there's going to be a happy hour at the office. This was before working from home, and we want anyone who wants to showcase their talent, do so. And man, I emailed whoever was organizing this happy hour, and I was like, I guess I'm gonna do this. This was like 10 years ago, and I just remember that I became like known for that with people who shouldn't have known my name, like the CEO, the people who I was a very junior person at this point, and they got to know me. And I think that the storytelling the common thread amongst all of this is a quote. It's not about you, it's about it. And I think that's what I think about it every day. That's a quote that a CEO, when I worked at one of the biggest ad agencies in the world, he said that when someone asked him, what's one piece of advice you would give for day-to-day work and for managing a big team? And he said, it's not about you, it's about it. And I think that's so powerful in storytelling. It's and in day-to-day life, when you're having conversation with someone at a party, it's so much better to focus on them. Same thing with your marketing. I've served clients where it's almost like their benchmark is, will my boss like this piece of advertising, instead of will my customer like this piece of advertising. So that's the common thread that I've learned. That's for me, that's what's succeeded in the songs that I've made that are most popular, the YouTube videos that I've made that are most popular. It's being so audience centric and speaking their language.
It's amazing to hear you say that and use those words because I talk frequently on the news side of marketing and public relations as saying you're never just pitching the reporter a story, but you're pitching their audience because that's the test that they're going to apply to the information you're giving them. Is this going to be interesting to my audience? So you're describing the same thing from a marketing perspective of is the audience going to find this interesting? I just find that so fascinating.
Mm, thanks.
So tell us a little bit more about the custom songs and the corporate event
Ah,
performances. I mean,
yeah.
you've talked about the freestyle rapping. Is that the one genre you do? You do more genres than that?
It's all under this genre of hip hop. So it's either improv, like I did in that show in New York, which was all improv, or it's fully written. So I wrote a song for believe it or not, a big pharma company once, where they wanted to do like something very different for their sales conference in Las Vegas, and they wanted their sales team to be part of it. And they told me these are the core messages. These are the types of physicians we're trying to speak to. This is what the product is indicated for. So for such a red tape environment, that was such a bizarre thing to navigate. Like their med legal team assessing rap lyrics. I wish I could have recorded that. It's like a SNL skit. And so yes, again, just sharing this thing that I did outside of my full-time job led to this. But yeah, the written songs for pharma companies. I'm currently a writer for a theater company that does a lot of corporate events. They do a lot of improv and they do parody songs that are about project management or about maybe they do a real estate convention and they'll do a parody of like a Weird Al or no, you wouldn't do a parody of a Weird Al song. That'd be bizarre. They'll do a
Right, that would be
parody
a
of like a
parody of
Taylor
a
Swift
parody of it.
a parody of a parody. They would do like a parody of a Taylor Swift song, but it's about real estate sales. So I write for them. So it's once I left, I had to have like figure out different income streams. And so there's like I don't know, seven. They vary month to month, but roughly like seven different kind of creative income streams. And the
But talk about
songwriting is one of
reinventing
them.
yourself and being entrepreneurial. I mean, going out and trying all these things that you are what sounds to me like you're personally interested in them. You knew you had a talent for doing them, but actually converting them into a marketable and cashable
Mhm.
business is really admirable. I mean, what's the everyday like, every week like for you? I mean, I'm sure you're hunting all the time, but at the same time, it seems like you're having a great time doing it.
Yes, for sure. The thing for anyone in the creative field is it and you hit on this is it's got to be fun for you. I have turned down gigs where it was just like, this wouldn't be worth it. I would not enjoy this. And same thing with YouTube. If you may come up with something that, oh, this will get so many clicks and views, but you would hate doing it. Like, where's the fun with that? And I feel going back to the authenticity angle, it wouldn't be authentic if it's just for the clicks. And then week to week, day to day, oh man, it's just as you'd expect, just varies all the time. The one consistent thing though is two videos every week on Ambient New York YouTube channel, so that does not miss. That is set in stone. Every Saturday and Sunday, 9 a.m. There are new videos. And then in between that is okay, what client work is due this week? What networking events? I go to a lot of, as you'd expect, just trying to meet people in real estate, people in tourism. I go to a lot of networking events in New York City in person. I love in person. So that's another practice that you got to just keep that networking muscle always active.
Yeah, no substitute for the in-person. That is for sure. Rounding out the conversation here a little bit, let's talk about the sort of like the little crystal ball, the future of New York City tourism and marketing New York City tourism. I mean, it's and maybe let's blow this out a little bit. It might be easy. I'll just say it. Might be easy to market New York City, right? Like New York City,
Yeah.
big target. Everybody wants to come to New York City if they haven't been, right? They all should, by the way, because it's the best city in the world. But let's say someone is listening this and they are in a smaller city, not even, like a mid-sized city. Let's say like they're a small city and they want to either use your work or maybe start to replicate this and create a business that's similar to yours. What would you think that they need to go out and do? How do they get started in marketing the thing they want to market?
Marketing the thing they want to market. Is this is this in general or tourism centric? You mentioned
Let's do
small
tourism
town.
centric, right? Let's say
Yeah.
that you're the
Oh yeah.
local CVB in, I don't know, Des Moines,
Yeah.
right? Right? And they don't have the budget to hire you. They want to start creating some of their own. Is there a way they can get started?
Oh, 100%. And I've spoken with people about this and I've dabbled in some YouTube coaching and things like that. So if someone was in a small market and they wanted to like launch something about tourism in that small town, that is a gift that it's in a small town. They would be able to tell the most interesting stories because I come from Delaware, Wilmington, Delaware, which is like not a huge place, and it's the tradition there is so baked in with the certain bakeries, the certain mall. Like if I run into someone from Delaware, I can talk small town talk with them for hours on end. So my point is that, you know, the bakery down the street in said small town, they would have so much opportunity for genuine stories and they wouldn't have any competition. Like in New York City, there's a billion, not a billion, but there are so many tourism people on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and it's so competitive. But if you're in like a small town and you want to market, you want to be the videographer, say, for a local like hole in the wall restaurant, that there's so much opportunity for that to reach people in that small town and tell some small town storytelling.
Well, it's definitely an inspirational story. Matt, thanks so much for joining us today on the show. Really appreciate your insights.
Thank you, Jody. I love what you're doing. I just one day hope to have as cool a background and camera as your setup.
Well,
That's my goal.
if we swing it a few degrees to either right or left, you're going to see my golf clubs and my kids' bicycles and all that kind of stuff. It truly is the PR garage here.
Nice.
But hey, that's not the end of the show. We are not done with you yet. We're going to segue now into the rapid fire question portion of our podcast. This is where we steal a page from inside the actor's studio. We ask our guests a series of rapid fire questions meant to elicit a simple answer, maybe a laugh or two. With your indulgence, Matthew Pierce, let's begin with rapid fire question number one. What is your favorite news source?
Favorite news source? I like New York Post. I'm here in New York City, and I go to the app almost every day just to see what's going on.
There we go. Rapid fire question number two. What's your favorite social media platform?
Social media platform? I'm saying YouTube. Some people don't think it is a social media platform. I think so. I'm obsessed with it. I watch it more than traditional TV. YouTube, hands down.
Yeah, I would consider it a social media. People can comment on it. That's social. There you go.
Yeah,
Social media.
yeah. All
Right?
right.
Rapid fire question number three. Coffee or alcohol?
Is coffee. This has been off camera, but I don't go anywhere without my Yeti. It keeps it very hot. So hot coffee, nice. Let's go.
There you go. Nothing beats the Yeti.
Yeah, so I'm obsessed with coffee. It pairs so well with creativity and productivity. So yeah, all day.
Sounds good. Rapid fire question number four. What's your favorite on the run food?
A New York City slice, my friend. Um, yeah, that is the definition of you see it every day. People running around, running down the subway. They got their slice. Very portable, thin. You got to be thin if it's a New York City slice. So yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. And rapid fire question number five. What do you want to be after you finish this career?
Mm. I love the idea of coaching or teaching. So maybe doing a coaching business about, you know, YouTube success and growing your business on YouTube. And teaching, I had a great opportunity last year where I taught a group of high school kids, the high school I went to in Delaware, Salesianum. So I taught them a guest lecture on music production. And that was, as you'd imagine, just such a unique experience going back to my school and connecting with them. So that was really inspiring. So, yeah.
Good stuff. Matthew Pierce, this has been a great conversation. Please let people know how they can find you and your business online.
Yes, YouTube, you can just search Ambient New York and it will come up. LinkedIn is just my name, Matthew Pierce. And then all of my music is under Instagram at Boy Pierce Music, BoyPierce Music.
Sounds great. We are going to put all the links in the show notes. Thanks again, Matt, for joining us. And thank you, everyone, for listening. Please remember to subscribe to the show. Connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at The PR Podcast, and send us a question or a comment. Our intro is by Christopher Appold. You can find him and his fantastic photography on Instagram at Christopher_APPOLDT. Check him out there and hire him for all your photography needs. You can find me online at Jody Fisher on all the socials and on the web at jodyfisherpr.com. We'll see you next time on the PR Podcast.